Be honest, haven't we all been there? You ask your so-called smart assistant something simple, and it just fails. If you've ever used a voice assistant, I bet this feels painfully familiar. You ask for something simple, and what you get back is a perfect little moment that captures the huge gap between what we want our digital assistants to be and what they actually are.
But everything is about to change. Meet the new generation of AI assistants, powered by large language models. They're not just smart, they think, they understand, and they act.
For simple commands, they're great, but the second you ask for anything complex, the illusion shatters. But what if I told you that's all about to change? A new kind of AI is here, built for complexity and context. This isn't a small step up, it's a whole new ballgame. And here's the twist. Apple, the privacy-first giant, is reportedly in talks with Google to give Siri a whole new brain, Gemini. And it's leading to a shakeup nobody saw coming. Reports say Apple, famously secretive, is in talks with its biggest rival, Google, to license its Gemini AI to become the new brain for Siri. It's a massive deal that could finally give our phones the intelligence they've been missing.
Siri's new brain, the AI assistant race.
All right, if you've ever used a voice assistant, I bet this feels painfully familiar. You ask for something that feels like it should be simple, right? Hey, summarize this article for me. And what do you get back? I found this on the web. It's this perfect little moment that captures the huge gap between what we want our digital assistants to be and, well, what they actually are.
So, let's really dive into this. Because for years now, haven't we all kind of felt like our digital helpers just aren't living up to the hype? I mean, they're everywhere, in our pockets, on our watches, in our living rooms. But that assistant label, sometimes it feels like a bit of a stretch, you know?
And look, this isn't just a few people complaining on the internet. It's a really widespread feeling. There's this sense that the tech inside our phones is stuck in the past, while the rest of the AI world is just blasting off into the future. Okay, to be fair, they're not useless. For simple one-off commands, they're great. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Done. What's the weather? No problem. Add milk to the grocery list. They're total workhorses for that stuff. And we've all gotten used to it. It's helpful, for sure. But it's also pretty basic. But the second you ask for anything more complex, that's where it all falls apart. You know, trying to string a few commands together, or asking it to understand a little context, or, heaven forbid, pull info from two different apps, that's when the whole illusion of a smart assistant just shatters.
But what if I told you all of that is about to change? Seriously, there's a totally new kind of AI on the scene, and it's poised to give our digital assistants the, let's call it a brain transplant, they so desperately, desperately need.
And the difference here is it's night and day. See, the old assistants, they were built for single commands. You say X, they do Y. It's all pre-programmed. This new generation, though, powered by something called large language models, or LLMs, they're built for the messy stuff, for complexity, for actually understanding context. This isn't just a small step up, it's a whole new ballgame.
So what exactly is an LLM? Well, the simple version is, it's an AI that has basically read the entire internet. It's been trained on a truly astronomical amount of text and data. And because of that, it can do way more than just match keywords. It gets nuance. It can write stuff that sounds totally human. And this is the key part. It can actually reason through problems. It's the magic behind tools like ChatGPT that you've probably heard about.
And right now, all the biggest names in tech, we're talking Google, OpenAI, Meta, you name it, they are in an absolute sprint. It's an all-out race to build the most powerful LLMs. And one of the frontrunners, a really major player in this whole thing, is Google's family of models, which they call Gemini.
Okay, so what you're looking at here is basically a map of the AI world. It's plotting how good these models are versus how much they cost to run. And that top line, that's what they call the frontier. It's the sweet spot, the most bang for your buck. And as you can see, Google's Gemini models are right up there, constantly pushing that line forward, really setting new standards for performance.
Now, all of this intense competition, it's leading to some really interesting and honestly pretty unexpected shakeups. There's an unlikely partnership being talked about that could completely change the game for the phones we all carry around every single day.
So get this, Apple, a company that is famous for building everything themselves, in-house, seems to have realized they're a little behind in this big AI race. And to catch up, they're reportedly in talks to, well,
to bring in some outside help. And who are they talking to? Potentially their biggest rival, Google. The reports are that Apple is seriously considering licensing Google's Gemini to become the new brain for Siri. I mean, let that sink in. This is a massive deal. We could see two of the world's biggest competitors teaming up on what is arguably the iPhone's most personal feature.
What makes this whole thing so fascinating is that these two companies could not be more different in how they approach AI. Apple's whole philosophy is built around privacy, keeping things on your device, and making their ecosystem work seamlessly. Google's Gemini, on the other hand, is all about raw power that lives in the cloud, fed by enormous amounts of data. It's like a total clash of cultures. But it could also be a perfect match. Apple gets the top-tier AI it's missing, and Google gets its hands on maybe the most valuable user base on Earth.
Okay, so let's put the corporate drama aside for a second. What does all this actually mean for you? What could a truly smart assistant, one with the power of something like Gemini inside, actually do for you in your daily life?
Okay, imagine saying this. Send the photos from our trip last weekend to Sarah in Messages. A truly modern AI gets it all. It knows what last weekend means. It finds the right pictures in your photo library, it opens up your messaging app, and it sends them to the right Sarah in your contacts. It's a smooth, multi-step task that jumps between apps, something that's just a complete non-starter for most assistants today. And this isn't just about our phones. Not by a long shot. Think bigger. Imagine advanced voice controls in your car that actually work and make driving safer. A smart home that you can talk to like a person. Video games where the characters you meet have their own personalities and can have real conversations with you. Or even talking about things like voice cloning, which could completely change entertainment and how we help people with disabilities. The possibilities are huge.
But of course, with any giant leap in technology like this, it's not all sunshine and roses. Bringing these incredibly powerful tools into our lives comes with a whole new set of challenges and some pretty serious responsibilities that we absolutely have to get right.
Okay, so first, there's a big technical problem. Voice recognition itself. For this to actually be useful for everyone, the AI has to understand everyone, no matter their accent or how they talk. That's a huge data problem. Then you've got cybersecurity. I mean, if these assistants are going to handle more and more of our personal lives, we have to be able to trust them. That's non-negotiable. And finally, there's this massive challenge of making sure the data these AIs learn from isn't just, from one corner of the world. It has to reflect everyone.
Yeah, there was a research paper that put it perfectly. This tech is basically a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives us a chance to fix a lot of existing problems. But if we're not careful, it could just as easily make those exact same problems, like bias and privacy risks, a whole lot worse.
And really, that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important question in all of this. A smarter assistant, a truly helpful assistant, is one that by its very nature knows a lot more about you. Your contacts, your pictures, your calendar, your habits, everything. And with so many of us already worried about data privacy, the ultimate question really becomes, for all this amazing new power, what are you willing to share?
Imagine an assistant that truly understands you. But with great power comes great responsibility. What about privacy, security, bias? The ultimate question is, for all this amazing new power, what are you willing to share?
This isn't just an upgrade. It's a revolution. But with all this power comes the biggest question of all. How much of yourself are you willing to share?